Press start to begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Bonus Round. We're back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. I'm your host, John Mookie Warjam, joined as always by my co-host, Chad Peanut.
Hey!
And Rich Ray Winston 767.
Yes.
Underneath the couch.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. Would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony? During the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was, her? Yes, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial is over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Phoenix. You think a motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Carita, the victim of this murder. I hid it in this leaf in my mouth. And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about the relationship? Better stated Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's?
It was Edgeworth.
Looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
And it's also a tabloid, so there's also the issue of it might not even be all that true. Or a detail is not correct.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
Wow, this really smells like Febreze in here.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room.
There, Austin, you have a witness with a normal voice.
What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ungard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing,
Why, it smells like Febreze in here?
and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
Magazine with quotations.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of gossip.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Carita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. What is that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's something who would... I think there is someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
When I found the body.
Yeah, when I found the body!
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock.
Then I put down the fucking wine glass.
What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Oh, come the fuck on! Oh, I'm gonna faint. Hold on, let me get a drink though.
Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, hang on. Hold the fuck on. You're telling me you poured yourself a glass of juice because you saw a dead body?
I think that's a replacement for that line.
Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I can't believe this, that the new trend is, oh my god, I've seen a dead body. I'm going to pour myself a glass of juice. What the fuck is going on here? I see.
Oh no, a dead body. It must be 1 o'clock.
Or no, hold on. Oh no, a dead body. Must be time for margaritas.
Time to head down to Margaritaville.
Well,
Just for my lost sake of salt.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
and some people claim that there is a woman to blame. But I know it's Adrian Andrews' fault. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, but she has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on in confrontations.
And you better not be wasting away in Margaritaville.
And remember, head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
You should disrupt her
I probably
pacing.
just unlocked a huge core memory for a majority of our audience.
Disrupt her pacing.
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking.
And if it didn't unlock a core memory in you, it's past your bedtime.
You have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offenses, the instant this trial is over. Understand?
And if you did understand it, it is also past your bedtime and time for your meds.
But to be fair, if you did, here's the thing: if you did understand it, it is past your bedtime and time for your meds, which would be right now for me.
Okay, so third statement we press. You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
You're not supposed to be in shock at 1 o'clock.
I know. You're not supposed to be in shock when it's time for screwdrivers.
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
And then press the next one. Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you? That's the weird part.
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on the wine glasses, just that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down.
So you poured yourself some drinky, and you're like, you know what? Never mind, and set it down.
Never mind. What the
I was also
fuck?
gonna say, oh, well, I did drink it, but I held it above my head and just hope for the best.
No, I held it above my head, did a pirouette, and then turned around thinking that the body would disappear. And I was like, oh no, it didn't disappear. Let me put it back down now. Just fucking flipping a coin.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Crita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
Juice! What the fuck?
And what of it?
I'd like you to repeat verbatim what I just said out loud and see if that makes any fucking sense to you.
Any sense? Like, this doesn't make any
My
fucking
mind
sense.
really was a complete blank at the time.
Not blank enough to pour yourself some drink. Your mind was a complete blank, but not blank enough for that drink. I don't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today?
And you're apparently either sober or intoxicated because you came up with some half, or you're just really stupid because you just came up with something that doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Or third, and the most likely, a very bad liar.
There.
What one thing?
Shit. Your gosh. Never mind. It's no big deal.
See, it wasn't that important. What was she starting to say just now? Press further! Miss Andrews? I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime.
Hmm.
What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing.
Any more embarrassing than pouring yourself some drinky?
And when I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower face over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Oh shit. This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
That explains why the guitar case was wet.
Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
Sorry, drunk.
I'm sorry.
Because I had margaritas.
I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the face was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Uh-oh.
Alright, I'm on it.
I was the one who knocked the flower face over, but it fell onto the guitar case.
You have the guitar case.
Empty. There is some water, but only the top of the lid. It bears Carita's fingerprints. Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell on the guitar case?
It's just some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell on the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have got one on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
What is that?
Let's take a look at the crime scene photo.
It's open.
The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
Right. And what is wrong with that?
The guitar case was open when the vase fell. The glass shard should be inside, not outside the case.
Ah!
What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
Objection! No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio and has no bearing on this case at all.
That may very well be, however. Oh, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it?
It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Make her testify. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
What? I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you.
Hey, I like to have my drinking with a straw. I can't believe I'm doing this either.
And not pour it when after I find a dead fucking body.
Oh no, it's dead body. I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Better yet. She was like, oh no, a dead body. She smacked her forehead. I could have had a V8.
Oh God. That's perfect because it's tomato juice.
No, better yet, that's today's episode title. I should have had a V8.
I can't believe I'm doing this either.
All right, I'll follow along for now. Could have had a V8. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
V8, we'll go with some hamushi.
Oh, Jesus.
No, in fact, you know what it was? She's like, sorry, I'm not that bright because I was having Bloody Marys.
I don't remember too
Yeah,
clearly.
that's what she was like. She was like, oh no, a dead body. Time for a Bloody Mary.
I was a bit dazed.
From too many Bloody Marys.
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the play sofa.
Yeah, she ends up like Helga's mom from Harold. She ends up like Helga's mom from Harold. Yeah, smoothies, right?
Yeah, smoothies, right.
It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all.
Plus, I had too many Bloody Marys.
As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
Because I had too many Bloody Marys.
I'm gonna make you a Bloody Mary and go shut the fuck up.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point, especially the Bloody Marys. This wastefulness, especially with Bloody Marys,
oh my
Jesus
Christ!
By now, that it's almost comforting.
Stop trying to make Bloody Marys happening. It's not happening. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Using any way to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man.
Right up there with, the weather's nice today.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Present the guitar case to any statement but the first one. Wow, that's pretty easy. Objection! There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Ah,
I didn't skip that, the game did.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
you shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched that case.
That's not what I'm saying. Whatever. What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was another award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. But yet the fucking photo doesn't show you wearing gloves.
I think you're right.
Well, Mr. Wright, seems that the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange, because the fucking photo doesn't show it.
You wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Strange, isn't it?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
The fucking photo!
Not this one. I wish they would show you the preview instead of making you look at it. Not that one.
The camera, then a picture of the nickel samurai leaving the crime scene?
Lotta's photo can work here too, it says. You can do either the nickel samurai or Lotta's photo. Yep. Wait, I didn't get to finish saying anything!
I think it's time for you to go home now, Wright. Before you hurt yourself, that is.
Hurt myself!
It's alright, Mr. Wright. You don't have to push yourself so hard.
I guess I was trying a little too hard there.
Now, if the defense has no further objections, let's return to the testimony.
What the fuck?
What?
What?
Oh.
What?
Oh, you gotta present the wine glass.
Oh, the wine glass. Okay.
Alright, so we gotta do this again.
Wine glass.
So the guitar case to start the line of questioning again. That's strange. Present the wine glass. Oh, the nickel samurai is afterwards.
Objection!
Because it has your fingerprint, bitch!
Take that!
I have your proof right here. It's the wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clear on this wine glass.
Ah,
Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
ah.
I forgot there was some damage spray. She broke her glasses and she had another pair.
Order! Order! Order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
It's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that.
I think there might be something else in that guitar case.
The note. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case...
Objection!
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided.
Objection! Misguided objection? No! Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
Objection!
If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well,
The bright
let's
red
suppose for a
guitar
moment,
not
for a second,
being the only
that the bright red
thing.
guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
You don't mean to suggest a bright black... So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that right?
I like that they're continuing the running gag of everybody think, oh, was it a different colored guitar? No, I wouldn't say something I don't intend to improve.
Intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder?
So this is what I was supposed to present the photo.
Okay.
Take it! The extra costume.
This is a photograph. Every time
It makes me laugh. Yes, but what is important is what's in that picture, Your Honor.
In this picture,
Doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
what? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Wright, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. If you have anything to support such a preposterous idea,
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
you mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
Think later! So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Ongard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True. This is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It was a spare costume. Mr. Ungard did not take his costume off during the break period. Remember, he was taking a nap in it. In that case, the costume you're talking about was a spare one.
What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I am saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Karita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him?
Probably so he could do to Matt Ungard what was done to him.
What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And therein lies the sticking point.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
With gusto! Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was...
Well, you pretty much said it.
Oh, yes. Remember that the Nickel Samurai was going to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show, but then he got murdered.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On-Guard himself said he had no idea what he was supposed to be holding at a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Kurita was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai!
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt On Guard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you said, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the German Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
Except he went down alone.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on the... Juan had in his hands a secret so-called powerful... Oh man, I'm scatterbrained tonight. And it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
And do you know what this secret of Mr. On-Guard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what that is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Mr. OnGuard.
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
And I suppose we'll hear the truth about her behavior
Next time on the Super Bonus Round?
Yep, so thank you guys again so much for watching, and next time will probably be the end of the trial portion of this. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep, do so. Might help. Good night.
Don't waste your night away in Margaritaville.
Make sure you have your shaker shop close by.